Now, right around this time of the year, as it starts to get quite cold outside, I do miss my citrusy fragrances, my aromatic fragrances, my mint fragrances. That's exactly what we have in the brand new release by Art de Parfum. This one is called Sabotage. I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on this aromatic, minty, citrus, bitter orange, petitgrain, and oak moss fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on the brand new Sabotage, this is a 2023 release from the brand Art de Parfum. I'll tell you all about it. I'll try to make comparisons and tell you how long it lasts on my skin and how it develops on my skin. But before I begin the video, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So here we have a fragrance from Art de Parfum, and I know I covered a bunch of their fragrances on my channel before, and this is a wonderful brand. Long-lasting fragrances, high level of originality and creativity, which is something that you don't see a whole lot of nowadays. But of course, with this fragrance, it does utilize some ingredients that I've witnessed or smelled in fragrances before, namely basil and mint. And of course, the first fragrance that comes to mind is Green Lion by Hermetica. That fragrance also has a pairing of mint and basil. This also has the bitter orange, there's some bergamot. It does open up quite bright and citrusy. There's petitgrain, so it has some woodsy accents to it as well. A touch of musk in the base, and of course it also has oak moss. So this is a very bright, green, verdant, effervescent type of a fragrance. And of course, with all of these ingredients in here, one would ask the question, is this a fragrance that I should probably wear until the hotter weather to wear? Or is this something that I can wear now in the fall and winter, depending on where you live, of course? Well, I'm going to be answering all those questions in just a little while. Let's start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. As soon as you spray this fragrance on, you are going to get this juicy grapefruit note. Now, of course, there's bitter orange, there's petitgrain, I get a little bit of bergamot as well, but the pink grapefruit is really the star of the show in the opening. And of course, you also have a touch of rhubarb in there as well. Now, rhubarb can be a little sweet. Some people have compared it to the smell of strawberry, so it can have some red fruity nuances, but rhubarb can also be quite vegetal in nature as well. So it's tart, it's citrusy, it's a little vegetal, and the green quality of the rhubarb, if at all you do pick up on some green from it, it does meld quite nicely with the oak moss, the basil, and the mint. The mint is the perfect accent to the citrus. It just opens it up in a very bright and jubilant type of a way. And of course, with the oak moss residing in the base, it's not too strong. Of course, when you think of oak moss or vetiver or fir balsam or pine or galbanum or any of these green ingredients, sometimes it brings to mind like 80s powerhouse types of fragrances. Don't worry, that's not what's going to happen here. But the oak moss adds a really nice touch of long-lastingness in the dry down, but it's really more so about the cedar and the musk. It has this woodsy presence, and of course, petitgrain is also known as the poor man's neroli. Some people actually prefer it to neroli because it actually uses the rind and the fruit and the bark, and it utilizes many components of that plant. So it is a bit woodsy at times, and that compared with, or combined I should say, with the woodsy tendencies in the dry down, I think create a really nice balance of different notes. So altogether, this is aromatic on account of the basil and the rhubarb, both of which are phenomenal in this fragrance. And the grapefruit here is really realistic, and I love this fragrance for that reason. You know, there was a fragrance called Coach Leatherwear. It's discontinued now, but that fragrance smelled so much like grapefruit, and I really loved it. And of course, nowadays we have fragrances like Tiger by Bulgari that has a really nice grapefruit as well, but it tends to go in an oceanic or aquatic direction. This is citrusy, aromatic, and woodsy without the aquatic nuances. So if you're looking for something not as casual, something a little bit more dressed up, more professional, more refined, and let's face it, there are a lot of fragrances out there that utilize a citrusy nature that I think are professional. these are fragrances like Terre d'Hermès and even Voyage d'Hermès. But here we have a wonderful expression of grapefruit, rhubarb, some aromatic touches, a generous helping of basil and mint, but it's not too bright to the point where it smells like a mojito or anything like that. It actually lacks that sweeter foundation that is found in a lot of mojito types of fragrances, especially since sugarcane is an ingredient in mojito. Nevertheless, very bright, fresh, inviting, effervescent. This is an amazing fragrance. And to answer the question that I posed earlier on in the video, is this one that I see myself wearing this time of the year? Absolutely. Very clean, very professional, long lasting. And of course, if you're wearing it indoors in a climate controlled environment, of course you can pull this off no matter what. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, for me, this is unique. As I try to compare it to other grapefruit fragrances, this one does stand out, and I personally really enjoy that. In terms of the longevity on this fragrance, you're going to get about 8 hours on skin, which for a citrus-forward fragrance, it's kind of hard to find nowadays. Most of them last 5-6 hours, so this one gives you upwards of 8, which I think is really impressive. In terms of the projection, quite loud for the first hour and a half of application. It radiated beyond an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 6, a skin scent right around hour 8. Versatility on this one, perfectly unisex, great for dressed up and dressed down scenarios. Of course, in terms of the note breakdown, this is one that you're going to want to wear in the spring and summer. But like I said before, if you're wearing it in a climate controlled environment, you can wear it all year round. And of course, this is a fragrance that you can wear despite your age. And in terms of the presentation, I do love the color palette selected on the front of the box here, and the name Sabotage is pretty cool. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you're looking for a realistic expression of the note of grapefruit, you like some tart citric qualities, you like that aromatic appeal of basil and mint, and it just provides a sense of cooling relaxation, check out Sabotage by Art de Parfum. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. It really means a lot to me. If you have any experience with the brand Art de Parfum, drop your comments down below. I love the interaction. I love hearing what you have to say. And of course, if you took something of value from today's review, hit the subscribe button, hit that neighboring bell, and also give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.